Lake Naivasha lies in the Rift Valley, considered to be the birthplace of humanity. But today, humanity is putting a lot of pressure on this vital natural resource. An integrated solution is needed, taking into account water, energy, and land.
Lake Naivasha is a perfect example of a well nexus, where well nexus means water, energy, and land, and how they are linked, where one bad use of any one of those resources leads to disastrous results as far as human welfare is concerned.
The environment is also in danger. Dozens of large-scale vegetable and flower farms exploit the lake's resources, especially fresh water for irrigation, but the water is being drawn out faster than it can be replenished, a serious threat for the sustainability of this activity. The horticultural industry has helped reduce poverty in Kenya by creating thousands of jobs. Workers converge on Lake Naivasha with their families. Nowadays, nearly 500,000 people live in the basin. Towns get bigger and more land is needed, as well as water and energy.
The people use water and the charcoal. The charcoal is very highly demanded because the trees have already been cutted.
In the upper catchment of Lake Naivasha, land has been cleared to make way for small holdings. Deforestation causes erosion, which has a direct impact on the lake. Soil, pesticides and fertilizers wash into the water, yet more evidence of how land, energy and water issues are interlinked. 40% of Kenya's energy is produced by geothermal plants located on the western bank of the lake. There's some concern about the environmental effects of this activity too. Lake Naivasha is still a beautiful sight, and wild animals continue to attract nature lovers and tourists. But for how long? Firm action is being taken to prevent further harm to the environment. Working together, authorities, associations and the horticultural industry are learning that the water, energy, land problems are so interrelated that only a well-nexus approach can bring lasting results.
The main agenda for the Kenya Flower Council is to ensure that growers are growing responsibly. And to do this, they have themselves a set of policies that guide them on how to use resources responsibly and, of course, to ensure that they optimize on these resources.
This flower farm is one of the leading enterprises around Lake Naivasha. The company manages its water supply with limited extraction from the lake. Water is recycled and reused. It's developed its own organic system to control pests using natural predators. It also grows worms to accelerate compost, replacing chemical fertilizers. Small-scale farmers have reduced their environmental footprint by adopting good agricultural practices. Initiatives also come from the local associations that have long been fighting for the conservation of the lake's resources.
I'm very optimistic because the government and the international community are already here trying to promote sustainable, wise principles on the various economic activities around the lake.
Lake Naivasha is a subject of concern for various ministries, associations and international organizations. The sustainable development of horticulture is also on the European Union's agenda.
The question for the EU, and it's the policy dialogue that we have with the government of Kenya, is how can we make this, the development of this industry, best serving the development of the country.
One solution used around Lake Naivasha is the Payment for Ecosystem Services, or PES, where downstream users such as large-scale farms pay upstream farmers to support conservation measures. On this small farm where he grows vegetables on steep slopes, Michael Mbugua has received financial support to build terraces, plant grass at the edges and trees to prevent topsoil erosion. His yield is now better and he can feed his cattle with the grass he grows.
Kuma twahanda thara riu mai ni makoragwo me matheru magikuruka Lake Naivasha na tondu ni undu wa uguo twikaga andu acio a Naivasha ni monire matuheage kanyamo kanini utucokeria guoko ni undu wa mai gukorwo me matheru.
The payment for ecosystem services approach gives hope for future economic activity around Lake Naivasha, and it could be implemented in other development projects too.
The Well Nexus requires that the stakeholders work together, and they need to see it as an integrated ecosystem. And already there is an initiative called Naivasha, which calls for the stakeholders to work jointly towards an integrated solution that is beneficial to all.